Lots of men have problems approaching women. When we see a woman we want to approach, there are a couple of things that stop us. Whether it be not knowing what to say, or generally not knowing what to expect when you make the approach. Or we don't want other people seeing us approaching that woman. Or we don't want to get rejected. Or it could be as simple of a reason as it seems unnatural to walk up to that girl in that particular time. This video will focus on how to stop feeling like it's unnatural to walk up to a woman in almost any situation. I remember all of the excuses. It almost never was the right time to go and approach a woman. When I was in a club, the music was too loud, or she was talking with her friends, or I was too far away from her. When it was daytime, it seemed unnatural to approach a woman because we were walking to different directions, or she had her earphones on, or again, she was talking with a friend, or well, it was daytime and who the fuck approaches during the day? In short, I was always waiting for the perfect time to approach a woman. But what even is a perfect time? Because back then, a woman could have sent me clear signals that she wanted me to approach her, but I still wouldn't. I was afraid. Nowadays, I don't wait for the perfect time, because I know that I will have to create it myself. Of course, when I have time and she is super engaged with her girlfriend, for example, I wait for when I am not interrupting at the most inconvenient time. But mostly, I understand that, quote, life is what happens to us when we make other plans, end quote. And I am that part of life that she had not necessarily planned for. Now, guys usually feel that it's more natural to approach a woman at parties, but less natural to do so while in the grocery store, for example. And I get it. It's definitely against the norm to meet women in grocery stores, on the street, or well, during the daytime in general. But my goodness, it's definitely not unnatural. From my point of view, there is absolutely nothing more natural than walking up to a woman you're initially attracted to. Look at it this way. Earth is billions of years old. More complex life forms on it, hundreds of millions of years old. And most of the species have survived and evolved because males and females got together and did their thing. Keep that in mind. You are the latest link of a sexual lineage that goes back millions of years. Meeting people you're attracted to is basically written into your DNA. It's the most natural thing ever. If it wasn't, life on Earth would have ceased to exist. It's only our social and cultural norms that make meeting women at different times and places seem unnatural. Now, let's talk about how to get to where approaching women in almost any situation is totally natural for you. First off, there is no short fix for this. It comes from exposing yourself into different situations, approaching women in different situations. That way, you get experience and points for reflection, and from there, you will transform your limiting beliefs into empowering beliefs, step by step, 1% at a time. A very common mistake guys make is believing that if they want to get good at approaching those extra beautiful women, they can do so only by approaching with the intention of seducing them. But it's much better to practice starting up conversations with all kinds of women in all kinds of situations. Look at it this way. Let's assume for a moment that getting better with women is like an RPG game. Approaching beautiful women you're attracted to gives you 6 experience points, while approaching other women gives you 2 experience points, for example. Now, if you only approach women who give you 6 EXP, your growth will be way slower than if you also approached other women who give you 2 EXP. That's because there just aren't as many 6 EXP women out there. Also, think about this. For a lot of guys, it's almost impossible to go and meet women they're attracted to. That's because they are afraid of a lot of things. Their limiting beliefs hold them back. It's actually much better to get comfortable step by step. If you set out to only approach women you're attracted to, but you never actually approach them because it's just too nerve-wracking to do so, you will never get better. If it's too uncomfortable to go and meet a woman by stating your interest, then you should do something more comfortable and work up to approaching women with intent, step by step. Here's the thing, for most guys, just approaching women for whatever reason is outside of their comfort zone. and therefore an opportunity for growth. Imagine a following situation. It's daytime and you see a woman you like, but you're just too afraid to go and tell her she intrigues you. Instead of letting that opportunity for growth pass, you can just walk up to her and ask her for directions, for example. You will still get the experience and you will still grow. If you do that often enough, then pretty soon you will be able to approach women with intent. You can also practice giving compliments without expecting anything in return. You will do that for two reasons. First, to affirm to a woman about some positive qualities about herself. Second, to train your body and mind to be unattached from the outcome when meeting women. Recently, I was in a grocery store and noticed a really beautiful woman. She noticed me as well. As she was just about to pass me, I stopped, gently put my hand on her shoulder and said, "Hey." As she stopped, I took my hand away and asked her, "Have you received a compliment today?" Her face turned red, and man, I just love it when that happens. After a short pause, she said in a nervously cute way that she hasn't. So I just said, "Well, you're in luck, because for me, you have exceptionally beautiful eyes." She smiled, said thanks, and then hurried away. From this situation, I want to point out something. Usually, in the beginning, there is an initial phase of uncomfortableness. That is fine and natural. When she left so hastily, I didn't automatically assume that I did something wrong. Maybe she has a boyfriend or is a lesbian. Maybe she just didn't know how to handle that tension in that moment. I have been in these types of situations before, and from experience, I know that her leaving doesn't mean anything bad about me. The opposite is true. I can imagine her talking with her friends that night.
"You know what? I met a guy in a grocery store today. He told me I was beautiful and I got so nervous I just left. God, why am I like this?"
Or,
"If I wouldn't have a boyfriend, I would have given him my number."
also, I didn't feel disappointed. I only gave her that compliment because I wanted to make her feel good and I wanted to show up as a man. I didn't need the conversation to go any further for it to be a success to me. Everything else would have been just a bonus. But me showing up as a man and seeing her blush was all the reward I needed. You can also give compliments on their outfit, for example. It's pretty common for me to say to women I'm crossing paths with something like this: "I love your style." Or, "Wow, that hat looks so cute on you." Whatever I like about her, I compliment that. Usually, I don't even stop, I just keep on walking. Cause you know, I have places to be and stuff to do. Of course, you should also give compliments to women you are not attracted to. Appreciate beauty in all women. You can also just practice having small talks with cashiers at different stores, for example. Doing these things gathers positive evidence for your mind, and pretty soon the knowledge that you can approach any woman in almost any situation will be integrated into you. From there, you can step it up a notch by approaching women you are intrigued by, and then, during the conversation, telling them you would like to see them again or inviting them to a coffee nearby. Okay, to sum it all up, don't let your excuses stop you from meeting new women. It's totally natural to approach women in almost any situation. If it wasn't, life on Earth would have ceased to exist. Improve yourself step by step. Approach all kinds of women and not just to seduce them. Ask for directions, give compliments, make small talk. All of this gives you growth. Pretty soon, you will be able to approach women with intent. Before I end this video, let me tell you that there are more factors in making us believe that approaching women in one situation or another is unnatural. All of the reasons I started this video with cause that. So, to help you become better at approaching women, I have created a playlist that covers all of these subjects. To get to that playlist, just push the picture here. Other than that, good luck and I will talk to you later.